Hello, welcome to KNGNetwork.com Coaches Show here in Nicholas County. I'm Philip Smith, and I'm joined here with Athletics Director and High School Football Coach Robert Hopkins and Nicholas County High School Principal Marty Feltner. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Last week was homecoming, Mr. Feltner, and I know it's always a big deal here in Nicholas County. What do you think was some of the big events that were positive this year for homecoming?
We had a great week. We had several drives, a food drive that we use as our backpack program here in the county, and we've raised more food than we have in a long time for that program. We also had a penny ward, which we're going to buy a cobblestone at the 9/11 landmark that's going to, with our name on it, that's going to be something that the kids can go to see when they're going on senior trips and different things like that. We also just had daily activities, and there's a lot of spirit, a lot of kids dressed up on every day that we had. So all the activities, the week was just very successful, very successful.
I know that we had a great football game. How do you think the alumni and everyone coming in felt during the game and the parade and whatnot?
It was a great crowd. The crowd was just wonderful. The stands were full. I know the alumni had to be happy. Coach has done a good job. The kids are playing well. They're doing a good job. We're young, and we had to fill some big shoes from last year, and the young kids have stepped up and done a wonderful job with that. As far as the parade, it was another successful event. We had a lot of kids participate. It was probably 3/4 of the student body that participated in the parade, and we had a lot of people in town that were out watching, and we were glad to see that, and glad we could have something like that for the community.
Anything big happening coming up in the calendar that people out there might know about?
I don't think we have anything huge coming up. Our regular volleyball, middle school girls basketball is still going on. Of course, football, we're on an off week this week, and we've got some big games coming up in a couple weeks. But other than that, it's kind of normal business around here at this time, just busy as it can be all the time.
We are hosting the 38th District Volleyball, October 10th and 12th. It'll be the first time that we've hosted a district tournament in our new gymnasium.
And that will be during our fall break.
I know that we're also having the Woodjack Classic Band Competition here.
That's later in October as well.
That's gonna be
that'll be the first band competition that we've hosted at Nicholas County, and we had a meeting a couple nights ago trying to get everything down and the community involved in that, and we had a lot of community support at the meeting.
Do we know about how many schools are wanting to come?
15 bands will be coming, 5 or 6 5A bands. That includes, I believe, Tates Creek, Montgomery County, several more. There's 4 or 5 4A bands, 4 2A bands, and 3 or 4 1A bands. So it's got a wide spectrum of different bands coming in.
All right, I know you're a busy man, so go ahead and thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
All right, Coach. Looking back at last week, we had a huge win, especially against Paris, and especially it being our homecoming here. What do we see? I know we got a week off. How's our players up there? Are they walking in high cotton still, or are they understanding?
They're kind of excited, and the polls came out this week, and one poll, we're ranked 11th in the state. It's the highest we've been for several years. We didn't even rank that last year. I think the highest we got last year was around 14th. But, the kids are excited. But, we as coaches, we're keeping them down to earth too. We're not letting them fly too high in the clouds because, we know what's ahead of us. We know that the hardest part of our schedule is the last 5 games. 3 out of 5 means something. Those are district games against Paintsville, Fairview, and Raceland. Fairview's ranked 4th in the state. Raceland is ranked, I think, 9th in the state. So, 2 out of 5 teams that you play are ranked teams. And plus 2, the last game of the season we step up with Class 3A Bath County, which is a border war, and they owe us. We beat them 2 years in a row, so they owe us. So the kids, we're keeping reminding daily that, first half of the season's went all right. We're 4-1, and actually in reality should be 5-0. If you'd have told me that at the beginning of the year, that I had my ideas that we could possibly be 4-1 in the before open week, but I thought it'd be Fleming County game would have been the only loss, but not the Lewis County game. But we're tickled at 4-1. We're getting some of these younger kids that are starting to develop, and then we're starting to be able to take a couple of our seniors and put them in different positions. Like from here on out until we have injuries on the line, we're moving John Lee Allison to fullback. He does a wonderful job of blocking there. And, fullback leads everything we do in our offense here. And we need somebody that's going to be up there and not look for the glory, but look to put somebody on their backside. And that's what John Lee does. And we're excited, from here on out to be able to move him to full-time fullback. Plus, too, it gives a little bit more depth in the backfield. We can also utilize kids like Austin and Finn Brutzman and Charlie Pope and J.D. Wagner. We can use and Trevor Booth and those type of kids. We can utilize all of those in different positions. The one back that we're not going to try to give any breaks to is Caleb. Guys, he's having a career year. I mean, he's right at 1,400 yards in 5 games. He's on the verge here. He could possibly break the school record the next game. But the yards are going to get tougher. The Ludlows, they're 1-4. They're not having the season that they want to have, but anytime you strap it on and go to Northern Kentucky, you're in for a battle. I don't care who you're playing. Football in Northern Kentucky is what they love, football. And those kids will be excited to have, Nicholas County Blue Jackets to come up there. They'll be excited to have the #1 rusher in the state, not only in Class A, but overall state. Ludlow's going to be excited to stop that. So, and the other team's going to be better defensively. We got our work cut out for us.
I'll say this: our D was good. I know that Morgan had 7 tackles.
Chris Morgan's just a force, guys. He's a force. I've got 2 kids on my team right now. They're going to get the opportunity to play at the next level. Maybe 3. Captain John Lee. We'll just have to see how the remainder of the season goes. But I know 2 for definitely. Caleb and Chris. The opportunity is going to be there if they want to play at the next level. And I hope Chris does. I know Caleb does. I hope Chris does because, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, he can flat out block and he can flat out play some defense.
Looking last game, Zach Howard had a heck of a game, too. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, received for 74 yards, and he had 6 tackles.
Yeah, Zach's the type of kid that, we're pleased with his effort. We know there's more. There's times that he becomes passive out there and not as aggressive as we want. But now he's having a real good year for us, and we're excited for Zach, and we're glad for Zach, And like I said, a lot of the younger kids are coming on, The injury bug is still hitting us. We lost Austin. He only got to play the first quarter against Paris. Devin Johnson also got hurt, and plus Finn Bruceman, had a concussion. So, Paris game, we won, but it took its toll on us, too. We're still not as strong. But with some of these younger kids coming on and being able to free up some offensive line space, it was able to take kids like John Lee off the line and put him in the backfield. And you got more depth in the backfield than you've had. So, if a kid goes down just like the other night, Austin goes down, we weren't prepared for it, but from here on out, we will be prepared for it, and it won't be as big a loss as if this was the first 5 games of the season because we just didn't have nobody else to fill in for it. Defensively, we're still struggling. If you was at the game the other night, Paris still had guys that were wide open running down the field. Quarterback just didn't connect. A lot of that's due to Chris Morgan, Zach Harrod, Jake Kirby, Nolan Woosley, those guys on the front line. Because they're putting pressure on quarterbacks. But it's going to get harder, guys, especially 2 out of the 3 district games are on the road at Fairview, at Racing. Nicholas County's been playing Racing since the 70s. They've only won down there twice. And we've won more at Fairview, but we haven't won at Fairview in several years.
The Rams are having a good year, too, at Racing. So. Looking back for this week, Friday, I know we don't have games, so we do anything special in practice this week?
We're just doing fundamentals. We're just going back to fundamentals. A lot of times people want to come in and change everything they're doing. We're not. We're going to keep it simple and just keep working on fundamentals. Yesterday, the line had an awful good day of practice. They really did a lot of hard hitting. The backs didn't because they're banged up a little bit. We just, continue doing what we're doing. And we're not changing up nothing. I may give them a few days off, may give them a day off because of the weather outside and bring them in tomorrow for conditioning and give them Friday off. But, we're excited. We still got 5 more games left. And, hopefully we can pull out a winning season here and do some damage in the playoffs.
How do you see I know you say from calling for the weather. Think we'll be all right if we play in some hard rain?
I don't know. Caleb don't like to run in the mud. No, we're not a mud team. We don't have that big back. It's just going to be 3 yards in cloud of dust. It doesn't matter. We have to utilize our team speed in the backfield.
Please pardon the interruption. At this time, I need all girls that were going to participate in the Powder Puff activities, actually signed up to play in the game, to report to the OGM at this time.
But, we're excited. I'm excited for next year, too. I got 2 coaches, too, we don't talk about much. They're doing a wonderful job in the middle school level. Adam Dunn and Brandon Jefferson. I know our 7th grade's got a winning record. Our 8th grade has won a couple games or won 1 game, but they've been in every ball game they've played, with the exception of when they played Harrison County. And Harrison County's got an outstanding 8th grade team. Those guys are doing a wonderful job with the middle school program. They're selling the program. They're selling football, and the kids are excited about it. They're playing hard. It's an exciting time for football right here.
So you see some good prospects coming up from 8th grade to freshman this year?
They're still a couple years away. I'm not saying that, the 8th graders coming in is going to set the world on fire. They're not. They're still a couple years away. And they're going to be a couple years away from numbers. But, anytime you got kids that love the game,
You got something right.
you can take a kid, as long as he loves the game, he doesn't have to be the best athlete, guys. Prime examples last year, I had 2 kids, Wes Hopkins and Nate Kirby. They weren't the best athletes in the world, especially Wes. I remember when he was a kid in the Little League, I never think, his sister outshined him in every sport she played. But he loved football from day one. And he did what it took to sacrifice to make himself better in the weight room, winter conditioning, a lot of hours spent that nobody knew. And, look at the accolades that he got because of that. And Wes wasn't a great athlete. A lot of these kids that's on this team right now are better athletes than Wes was. But are they willing to sacrifice what he did, So, I take kids that love the game. And that's what I say about some of these in the 8th grade and 7th. They love the game. If you love the game, you're going to make the sacrifice and you're going to make yourself a player. So,
Last thing, ask they got the new youth football league starting. It's supposed to be, they're trying to get it over in West End. Is that going to have an impact, or do you think it might help? Well, he can ask you, so it'll be on there. But
looking here in the county, they're doing a youth football league, trying to get one, I think, over at West End Park and over at that area.
We've had youth football league here for many years. We started youth football league probably back in 1997, 98. I know that myself and a couple other parents, Steve Kirby and a few other parents, and Tom Crawford, we started the flag football program here back when Wes and Cameron and Nate and all those kids were in 1st grade. We started flag. Guys like Mitch Harmon Smoot, Reese Smoot, and those guys started Little League back when those guys they graduated in 2000. So we've had Little League football here since 1995, 96. So what they're doing, it's nothing new. We've had Little League football here. They're just wanting their own field, and that's what they're trying to start. Yeah, but you got to have the right people in your leagues to teach the right fundamentals, and I feel that we do. I feel that we've got. I know Wes Erlewine is the president of the Little League system. He is a former Blue Jacket. He's a former football player here, and I know he's going to do a fabulous job. Robbie Castle also does the kids in the 2nd and 3rd grade, and he's a former Blue Jacket, former football player. That's what you want as a coach. You want kids that play for you in teaching the kids that are going to play for you. So, yeah. So, we're excited for them to try to have their own field every day.
I know it's a great time for football right here in Nicholas County. And wrapping up and looking forward to our next game, what fundamentals do we need to focus on to get ready for this game?
Guys, take us to the next level. For this team to take it to the next level, we're nowhere near a physical team like we have been. There's one thing about Nicholas County. It doesn't matter if you're 0-10 or 10-0. You go around this area of the state and you can ask people about Nicholas County football, and there's 2 things they're going to tell you. They play hard, they hit hard. Okay, play hard, hit hard. Don't matter if you're 0-10 or 10-0. That's 2 reputations that we got around here. This year, we're 4-1 right now. Do I think we're playing hard all aspects of the game? No. Do I think we're hitting hard? Not as a team. I've got a few hitters out there. Don't get me wrong, got a few. But we're not hitting. We're not as aggressive. If this bunch of kids right here, as a unit, play hard all the time, and as a unit, they're like a bunch of piranhas out there on that football, then they can take us to the next level. If they don't start playing a little bit harder, and as a team they're not more physical, we'll have a losing record the last 5 games of the year. It's point blank.
All right. Looks like we're going to have, if we can get hard, then we're going to win, and we can take it where we need to go. And
We can take it to the next level.
I'd like to go ahead and thank all of our sponsors. I'd like to thank both Apple Markets here in Nicholas County. I'd like to thank the Nick Pope Insurance Agency in Paris. Of course, Johnson Mathers Nursing Home. And of course, our flagship sponsor, JD Webb, with Webb Tire Sales and Service there in Judy, where JD says if you're not buying from him, you're spending too much. Remember, you can always check this show every Thursday at kngnetwork.com. You can always watch a game on Friday nights from either here or Bath County at kngnetwork.com. You can always share that or find it on Facebook. All right, I'm Philip Smith, and you have a good day. Thanks, Coach.